Hey guys, I want to keep going with my little retirement spiel that I was doing. I had the CSRS video and the FERS video, and I want to go a little bit deeper into TSP accounts and talk about some of the funds, and because we get a lot of questions on this, on how they should be allocated, and of course, while it depends on your risk tolerance, I just want to talk about the funds in general and what they mean and what you have a choice from. So I got the sheet right in front of me. I actually got two sheets. You can get them both. I will post them there as I pulled the page 13 out of the TSP Fund packet that I found. And I'll actually probably post the whole packet and just refer to page 13 just so you can read all about it if you want. And then I have a little annual returns thing that I did here. That's the second sheet I handed up, which all these specific funds are indexed against or the objective of the fund is to match a specific index, and it shows you how close that they match those, which it is very close. For example, the C fund is matched to the S&P 500, and then you can look at them on this sheet next to each other and see how close was the C fund actually to the performance of the S&P index. So start with conservative to risky. Start with the G fund. Okay, that's government securities, and there's inflation risk, but it's low risk otherwise. You don't have to worry about principal and your principal going down, but you're not going to make much money at all. So that's something that it's for the very most conservative investor should use the G fund. The F fund is the also a bond index. It's indexed against the Bloomberg Barclays U.S. Aggregate Bond Index. You can look that up if you want to see, how that ties in. But again, it goes a little bit on my sheet here, so you can see it right there. But this is government, corporate, and mortgage-backed bonds. So it's not as risky as the G fund. It's more risky than the G fund, but less risky than the other funds I'm about to mention as we're starting to get into stocks. So the C fund is indexed against the S&P 500, and that is stocks of large and medium U.S. companies, and the market risk is the biggest deal with that one. Obviously, the volatility can go up and down, as does the S&P 500. I know you see a lot of people have been talking about the Dow recently, but everything's been volatile. It's not just the Dow, but that's a good example. If you see the Dow is being really volatile, you should probably be checking out all the indexes and see how everything is moving. The S&P 500 is going to move a little bit differently than the Dow because it's 500 companies versus 30. The S fund is the next fund, and that is the stocks of small to medium-sized U.S. companies that were not in the C fund. So it's going to be more risky, and it's going to be even more risky than the C fund, and the reason is because it's smaller to medium-sized companies rather than the large and medium companies. Smaller to medium-sized companies are just more volatile. They'll fluctuate more. You have a chance for more growth, but you actually also have a chance to lose more money in that aspect. So this is considered moderate to high volatility, and that's as high as it goes for in terms of how they qualify their volatility, moderate to high. And then the next moderate to high is the I fund. That is international stocks of more than 20 developed companies, and this is matched against the Europe, Australian, and Far East index. So you have your very established countries, and you're just pulling investments from there. And this is also going to have to deal with market risk, currency risk, and inflation risk. Currency risk is interesting, not something you have to deal with the other funds because we're dealing with U.S. companies. Currency risk is only something you have to deal with the I fund because we're going international. I would always weigh heavier in U.S. stocks than I would international. International is still a great way to diversify your portfolio or your TSP fund so that you're just not all in one place. You're not all in the U.S. Then there's the L fund, which is just a mixture of G through I that I just mentioned. It gives you a really diversified portfolio by touching on a little of each, and you're allowed to pick your risk tolerance and your time horizon, and then basically they put an L fund together that mix all these and jumbles all these for you. It's a great way to diversify, is putting a little bit in each place. You got to find out what makes you comfortable, what makes you sleep at night, and obviously see how long do you have to go before you retire, how much risk can you tolerate, and then you can make your decision from there. That's pretty much it. Check out the PDFs, do a little bit of your own research, do some reading. If you have any questions, message and comment as always, but otherwise, have a great day.